Thank you, Mark. A solemn start to the evening here at Elland Road as the two captains, Kasper Schmeichel and Liam Cooper, with poppy wreaths, march along the halfway line, place those down just on the edge of the pitch, go jogging back to the two team lineups. But on with the football this evening. Chris Sutton is here at a very, very wet and windy Elland Road. Leeds against Leicester, Chris. I'll deal with all the team changes in a second. It's a very unfamiliar Leicester defence, and we'll see how that lines up right at the start of this game. It promises to be a really good game of football, the way these two go at it.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that Leeds, they just go for it, don't they? They only play one way, only know one way of playing. And then when you look at Leicester's away form this season, that's been their strength. They've been absolutely phenomenal. And I saw Brendan Rodgers speaking yesterday about this game. He thinks there will be spaces for Leicester to exploit because of Leeds' style.
We're underway. BBC Radio 5 Live here on a Monday night. Leeds against Leicester. Leeds all in white, defending the goal away to our left-hand side in front of the Don Revie stand. The rain is pouring. Leicester all in blue. Jamie Vardy starts for Leicester, 6 Premier League goals to his name this season. Patrick Bamford starts up front for Leeds. I can see him making a run through the middle at the moment as Robin Koch tries to find him with the through ball. Albrighton is back there for Leicester to deal with it, clears with his right foot, and that will go out for a throw-in to Leeds. Just wondering, just watching at the start here, Chris, whether it is actually going to be a 3 for Leicester with James Justin on the right side of the 3 centre-backs.
It certainly looks that way. Mark Albrighton in that right wing-back role, and Luke Thomas hasn't played a couple of appearances this season, but he will slot in as left wing-back, and Fuchs and Justin alongside Fofana at centre-half. So of course it's not ideal. Wes Morgan on the bench this evening, but Soyuncu and Johnny Evans out, big players for Leicester, but they'll have to try and cope.
Yeah, Soyuncu out, Evans out, Ricardo Pereira is still out, Wilfred Ndidi is out as well. Castagna is out. I'd not scribbled his name down. James Maddison on the bench this evening.
That's a surprise,
interesting
isn't it?
One, yeah. Robin Koch for Leeds, just inside the Leicester half, playing the ball to his right. Luke Ayling works it around the corner. This is good build-up from Leeds. Here's Costa inside the penalty area, twisting and turning, floats the ball up to the far post. Harrison to Bamford, who heads it straight at Schmeichel. He's got to score, you say, Chris?
Well, what an opportunity, and it's really well worked. Ayling pops the ball in to Costa, who stands the ball up at the far post, has headed back.
Oh, Jamie Vardy's in for Leicester at the other end, round Meslier. Now can he finish it off? Lays it into the path of Barnes, and Barnes sticks it home for Leicester. So Leeds should have scored at one end. 30 seconds later, Leicester have scored at the other end. The very wet pitch may have had a little part to play in that, because the back pass really didn't leave Meslier anywhere to go. Vardy was onto it like a flash. Barnes has tucked it away. It's Leeds 0, Leicester 1.
And what a start this is. Bamford just scored from 5 yards, heads it straight at Schmeichel. Schmeichel rolls the ball out. One ball down the line. It's a dreadful back pass from Koch. And Vardy gets in, goes round the goalkeeper and just squares it to Barnes, 7 yards out, who pops it in to the empty net. A real cock up there, and Barnes takes advantage.
So predictable. I knew it. I just knew that was coming. 3, not the goal, by the way. Chris's line just to finish that off. So Harvey Barnes has scored for Leicester 3 minutes into the first half. We thought it was going to be an entertaining game, and we should have had a Leeds goal right at the start, and we have had a Leicester goal. When I get a chance, I'll run you through the two starting lineups here. Ayling's ball forward, headed away by Fuchs. Here's Ayling on the dribble for Leeds, inside the Leicester half, played back to Click. First time, pings a lovely diagonal, which goes skidding off that wet pitch into the feet of Harrison. He's tackled by Albrighton, and that's a throw-in for Leeds on the left-hand side. Leeds 0, Leicester 1.
Yeah, I mean, what a start. And you see the television pictures keep panning in on Patrick Bamford. We talked him up. His wonderful hat-trick against Aston Villa. But it's all about direction from the header, and that's what it lacked. should have been able to pick his spot. It wasn't a difficult header. He wasn't surprised by it at all. Had time to think about it. It's just a really poor execution. And all of a sudden, Leicester are in front.
Here's Ayling on the ball for Leeds. They'll see plenty of it, of course. Here's Stuart Dallas, left wing back, darts infield. Pablo Hernandez has dropped deep. He's come into the side this evening. Rodrigo is absent, having been in close contact with someone who has subsequently tested positive for coronavirus. Unavailable for Leeds then. Click's ball in to the edge of the area, volleyed away only as far as Click, and it comes back to Liam Cooper, who is back in the heart of the Leeds defence this evening. Plays a short ball to his left, a little Jamie Shackleton, who's got a Premier League start here in central midfield for Leeds this evening. Header away from Luke Thomas, only finds Helder Costa, dummies the cross, then crosses it into Thomas, and the ball is behind for a Leeds corner, who have Meslier in goal, who's already been beaten. Luke Ayling, Robin Koch, Liam Cooper and Stuart Dallas as the back four. Helder Costa, Jamie Shackleton, who I've just mentioned, Mateusz Click and Jack Harrison. On another loan spell from Manchester City at Leeds, a big Bielsa favourite he is. Pablo Hernandez into the side, playing off Patrick Bamford. Corner for Leeds, they're 1-0 down. Hernandez takes it high, swinging one to the far post. Andre Mariner spotted an infringement in the penalty area. Either the ball went behind from the corner, maybe that's it. Anyway, free kick for Leicester, who've got Schmeichel in goal. We've described the three centre-backs, so that's Justin Fofana and Fuchs. Luke Thomas, the 19-year-old at left wing-back. Mike Albrighton on the other side, the 30-year-old now, playing in his 7th season for Leicester City at right wing-back. And then you've got Mendy, Tielemans, Barnes and Pratt. Jamie Vardy up top. 5.5 minutes gone. The rain continues to tumble down, and Leeds are going to try and find a way back into this game. Harvey Barnes with the early goal, if you just tuned in and you've missed it. Click's diagonal ball is aimed at Bamford. Bamford, little cushioned header, nods it down to Costa, who plays it down the right hand side to Hernandez, lays it off to Ayling. Ayling with a first time ball, doesn't get it right, swings it high, but behind that Leicester goal for a Leicester goal kick. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, and I have to say, Jamie Vardy for the Leicester goal, so unselfish, wasn't he? Really, it was a bad mistake from Leeds, but he's so switched on. Read the back pass was going to be short, goes round the goalkeeper. Could have actually taken a shot on himself, but laid it into Harvey Barnes' path, who couldn't miss. And this suits Leicester, doesn't it? You can see they're defending in numbers. I was here a couple of weeks ago. Wolves did a similar thing, defended deep, and certainly second half caused Leeds many problems.
Rodgers versus Bielsa. There's always going to be an interesting tactical battle. Both managers are out on the side of the pitch, getting soaking wet. Vardy's played it through to Barnes. He's through again. The angle's tight. Shows too much of it to Meslier, who slides out, blocks it with both arms, and it's behind for a corner. That was a chance as well, Chris.
Yeah, it was actually a poor. I think it was a second touch from Barnes. Really well worked. Jamie Vardy, we always talk about his goal-scoring exploits. It's a brilliant reverse pass which allowed Barnes to get inside Ayling. And his second touch too heavy, and Meslier, the Leeds goalkeeper, read it well and came out, got a whack on the head in the process, but brave goalkeeping stopped Leicester City going 2 up.
Talking about promising young footballers, Meslier is definitely one of those. Leeds goalkeeper, just 20. Chris and I watched him make his debut against Arsenal in the FA Cup at the start of the year. Albrighton takes the corner, swings it in deep to the far post, headed back across goal. Harrison nods it away. Second header from Shackleton, third header from Costa. Tielemans, good vision there, tries to nod it out wide to Albrighton. Leeds are able to get it away. Luke Thomas is under pressure here, and you can see that surface water coming up every time a player puts his foot down firmly on the pitch. We have had a lot of rain this evening, Chris.
The average rainfall in Leeds 66 millimetres in November. Ali, I think we may be, I'm not saying we're getting close to it, but we've had a fair...
When did you look that up?
Well, it's just not, come on, Bruce.
You knew that.
You're better than that, Bruce, isn't it? We can always look at the average temperature and rainfall, don't we?
Always. Well, we did in Russia, less so...
No, Salisbury's 33 millimetres in November.
No, you've made that up now.
Well, you check it.
Okay, I will.
You check it.
Fuchs has thumped a long ball clear.
You cannot
let it bounce. And Vardy's got there. Little back heel. Looking for the run of Pratt. He was very nearly in. And Leeds causing themselves all sorts of problems at the back. Mellier's on the ball inside his 6-yard box. You could see that as it was travelling long. And you were saying it, Chris, as it was in the air. Yeah. Do not let it bounce. You
can see the Leeds centre-backs terrified by Vardy's pace. But that ball has travelled, 60 yards in the air?
Vardy very nearly tackled Mellier there. He was taking his time, dawdling to clear. And he's whacked it away for a throw into Leicester on the left.
Well, they're all taking too long over the ball. They must have seen Jamie Vardy play before.
Here he is again, back to goal, edge of the area, enjoying himself this evening. The back heel doesn't come off. Strong challenge by Cooper on Vardy. Cooper's down, actually, having won the ball. Vardy's fouled him. Free kick for Leeds. Leeds 0, Leicester 1. And Vardy, who's had a calf injury last couple of weeks, but is starting tonight. As you said, Chris, came off the bench to great effect at the Emirates Stadium, and Leicester looked a totally different team. He looks razor sharp again tonight.
Yeah, well, he knows the game so well, and what's impressed us just in these early stages is we know what a threat he is, but some of his touches have been really sublime.
Here come Leeds. Harrison down the inside left channel. Players broken up by Leicester. Nampalys Mendy in central midfield is doing the job at the moment that Ndidi would be doing, and he's doing it well. He's brought the ball forward to the halfway line. He's stopped. He's played it back to Wesley Fofana, making his third Premier League start for the club, having already impressed against Villa and Arsenal.
Like the look of him, really do.
Fuchs, who again, a bit like Albrighton, one of the old timers, one of the title winners, who's coming in and doing a job for the team with all the injuries, playing on the left side of the three at the back for Leicester. They played it back to Schmeichel. Schmeichel takes his time, puts a good firm hit on the ball to get it out to James Justin. Got a lot of space in front of him, tries to curl a pass down the line to Pratt. It is intercepted, but Leicester have won it back high up the field. That's excellent play. Now looking for the run of Vardy. Vardy's beaten Cock to the ball, able to turn on the edge of the box, plays it back to Barnes. Barnes with the curler. Mellier palms it behind for a corner, and the young French keeper was certainly tested.
Yeah, they are linking up so well, Vardy and Barnes. Vardy unselfish once more. Gets the ball right-hand side of the Leeds penalty area. Lovely ball from Pratt. Slides the ball into Barnes. One touch with his right foot, and then tries to beat Mellier at his near post. It's actually going into the top corner. Smart piece of goalkeeping. Big left hand. Gets it over the bar.
Leeds 0, Leicester 1. Chances coming Leicester's way. Leeds had the first of the game. Bamford couldn't take it. Leicester went down the other end and scored immediately. They've had two decent chances since, and now they're attacking with a corner from the right, in deep to the far post, controlled by Pratt inside the Leeds penalty area. Low ball. Fofana tried the back heel flick. Justin on the ball in the box, stumbles, regains his footing, plays it to Barnes, gets it back wide to Pratt inside the Leeds area. So many bodies in there. Thumps the cross into the body of Robin Koch. Gets another attempt at the ball, slightly overhit beyond Fofana and behind for the goal kick.
A chance for Fofana. Missed his kick. Wasn't an easy chance. Was behind him. Tried a little flick from the slide rule cross on the left hand side. Missed it completely.
Here's the bearded Mateusz Klich in central midfield for Leeds in these all white shirts, but you can see that red poppy that's been sewn in to the middle on the front. Ayling's cross in. Fofana stretching, clears only as far as Costa. Gets that ball back to Bamford. One touch volleys wide. Difficult skill to attempt. He flicked it up in the air with his left foot, but it forced him wide of goal, and he tried to thump it in with his right foot, and it's behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, and the ball goes wide for Leeds. They don't mess about. They get the ball into the box. Clearance wasn't the greatest. And as the ball's played back by Costa to Bamford, trying to flick it up with the outside of his left foot. Well, he does flick it up with the outside of his left foot, but slightly heavy with the flick, and then can't get the right foot volley on target.
Kasper Schmeichel, Leicester's goalkeeper, in bright light green this evening, clears with his right foot, headed straight back into the Leicester half. Played back by Fofana to Schmeichel, who takes a little risk with a chip to Fofana, who's closed down in the left back position. Fires the pass low to Mendy. Back to Fofana, who's strong there, running up the left-hand side. Bamford in with the tackle. Leeds have won the ball back, 35 yards from the Leicester goal, but it's wide on the right-hand side. Helder Costa has had a very impressive start to the season for Leeds, holding on to the ball. Two Leicester tacklers can't get it off him. That was Barnes and Thomas who both had a go. Now Cooper plays it wide left. Harrison comes to collect, lays it off to Shackleton. His little through ball is intercepted. Vardy's on his own, just inside his own half. Good touch from him. And then he asks Harvey Barnes to run at full tilt here down the left-hand side. Koch is able to get there first. Plays it to Meslier. Meslier chips it back to Koch on the right-hand side. And Leeds have time to compose themselves. And Luke Ayling, their right back, number 2 on his back, just trots the ball up to the halfway line. Good run made by Bamford down the right. Gets to that pass from Ayling. Leicester onto him quickly. Chance to clear. Up towards Barnes. Little touch from him looking for Vardy. Might have been better to hold on to it there. Couldn't find Vardy. And Leeds have it back. And they're going to work it quickly from right to left. And here's Stuart Dallas. First time ball down that left-hand side to Harrison. Works it onto his right foot. Back to Dallas again. Dallas to Click. Click is 40 yards from goal in a central position. Floated to the right. Ayling chests it down. Then he slips. Stabs a little ball into the penalty area. And Fuchs is able to come across and should clear this up towards the halfway line. Chris.
Yeah, Leeds looking for quick switches of play. They get the fullbacks on and can try and get little overloads in those wide areas. Trying to get 2v1 situations as Mendy just snuffs out another Leeds attack. He's such an important player. I like the look of him. I really do. You mentioned Ndidi. I think everybody recognised the good job he did for Leicester City in that position. But he looks very, very able, Mendy. Yeah,
now in his 5th season at Leicester, and really starting to make an impression, ever present in the Premier League so far this season. Leicester are leading by 1-0. Leeds are coming at them again from inside their own half. Hernandez lays it back to Ayling. Ayling's gone long down the right. Costa was never going to catch it. He actually made a different run, cutting diagonally into the left, and the ball's gone behind for a goal kick. But I'll say it again, if Leicester win this game this evening, they currently lead 1-0. They're up to 2nd in the Premier League table, just a point behind Liverpool, and considering the injury list that they've got at the moment, that is a really impressive start to the season.
Well, it's not over yet, Bruce, is it?
No, it's a long way to go, Chris.
Way to go, especially against this Leeds side, who they're pretty relentless in the way they play. They know no other way.
Schmeichel for Leicester plays it to his right and finds James Justin. Pratt receives it from Justin, plays it to Albrighton. Albrighton's hooked his pass into a central area. Ayling has intercepted for Leeds. He's given it to Click. Click runs forward. Now into the feet of Shackleton. Shackleton wide to Jack Harrison. Little layoff here from Stuart Dallas inside the Leicester penalty area. Curling ball to the far post. Luke Thomas is there. Heads it away for Leicester. Got to be on your toes all the time. The movement from these Leeds attackers as they come swarming forward. Throw in for Leeds on the right. Taken by Ayling. Stabbed back to him by Hernandez. Costa lays it off to Click. Click into the feet of Shackleton. He couldn't control it. Fuchs is there to clear for Leicester. Up to the halfway line. 17 minutes played in the first half as the rain continues to fall at Ellen Road. Leeds 0, Leicester 1. Robin Koch to his right finds Ayling. Ayling looking for that little give and go with Hernandez, who decides to keep it. Sweeps it past Thomas, then gives it away. Here come Leicester on the counter. Dennis Pratt up towards Vardy. Not a great pass. Vardy was off balance, couldn't control it. Leeds have won it back. Dallas is there on the right hand side this time. Long sweeping diagonal ball to the left. Harrison got a touch on it, couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a Leicester throw in the right back position.
Yeah, you can see Dennis Pratt and Jamie Vardy having words. This game starting to really take a shape. Leeds dominating the possession, pushing Leicester back. Leicester quite happy to deal with it and then break at real pace.
Vardy receives the throw. Wide on the right for Leicester. They've lost the ball here. Click. Cleared away by Fofana on the edge of the Leicester penalty area. Leicester with everyone inside their own half. So Leeds will build again. It's played across to Ayling. Just tiptoes across the halfway line. Comes creeping forward into the Leicester half. Low pass to his left finds Cooper. Cooper across to Dallas. Not quite so much pace on it for Leeds at the moment. So Leicester easily able to cut off the channels. Then Click.
It's interesting, isn't it, that Brendan Rodgers been a really brilliant coach is conceding possession, normally likes to dominate possession against this Leeds team, saying, OK, we'll sit back.
Dallas's ball to Hernandez. His pass is just behind Shackleton, who's been very happy to get forward. Vardy might be able to get onto another missed clearance here. It was Klick's header. Vardy's onto it. He's immediately up to the edge of the penalty area. He's left the ball behind, and Robin Koch is able to deal with it and bring it away for Leeds.
Well, you can see he's kicking the turf, Jamie Vardy. The truth is there were no Leicester players. He's so quick, isn't he, who could get up anywhere near in support of him.
Leeds defenders there did look nervy and edgy as Vardy came sprinting towards them. They've given it away again, Leeds. It's suddenly 2-on-2 for Leicester if they can get this right. Dennis Pratt is bringing the ball forward, steps inside, edge of the area, goes down, won't get the free kick. He was on the way down, I think, when the challenge was made.
Well, like to see that again, but Dennis Pratt suggesting strongly to the referee he should have had a free kick. Well, I agree with you. I think he was on his way down.
Harvey Barnes has it for Leicester. Mendy side foots a ball here to James Justin. Just inside the Leicester half. They lead through the early Harvey Barnes goal. Robin Koch attempted a sort of stabbed back pass with his right boot, which just didn't have enough to get back to Meslier. Vardy was onto it, spotted the run of Barnes, and Barnes was able to stick it away. Tielemans plays it to his right and finds Pratt. Vardy's in there, but he goes slightly deeper and finds Barnes on the edge of the area, who turns, plays it back to Mendy. Now Justin to his right finds Albrighton. Albrighton tried to get a pass down the line. He claims he was fouled there by Jack Harrison. Leicester don't get that decision either. They've won the ball back just inside the Leeds half. Tielemans looks up, immediately is looking for Vardy, but instead goes wide right. Then the cross comes in. Vardy makes the run, diving header. Meslier saves. Rebound is stuck home by Yuri Tielemans, and Leicester lead by 2-0. And once again, even though he didn't score it, Vardy's movement, Vardy's header sets it up, and Tielemans does the rest.
Yeah, you've absolutely nailed that, Ali. His movement, Jamie Vardy, he has just been far too much for this Leeds back line. Leeds overturn the ball, has popped out to the right. Vardy pulls away from Koch, and then as the cross is whipped in, gets across Koch and heads the ball, glances ahead at Meslier, gets down to his right hand side and can only palm the ball out, and Tielemans, he can't believe his luck, 6 yards out, just strokes the ball into the corner of the net. But it's all about Vardy's movement, his anticipation, and Leicester, perfect game plan, Ali.
Yeah. Jamie Vardy, I've watched him plenty of times down the years. He's just an absolute master of his craft. I mean, Michael would not enjoy defending against him this evening. He'd have his hands full, wouldn't he?
Well, especially since he's been retired for a while now. Of course he would, yeah.
Midway through the first half, Leicester leading 2-0. Vardy hasn't scored either, but he's created both.
And do you know what, though? It's such a difficult one. And, you know, we can criticise the back line of Leeds and Robin Koch. You know, he really struggled there, but Vardy's movement is brilliant. He peels away so Koch can't see him, and then just at the point when the cross is whipped in, nips across him. It's virtually impossible to mark. Brilliant centre forward play. Leeds have got a mountain to climb, haven't they?
Yeah, 2-0 down at home. Bielsa is deep in thought in that familiar sort of hunched position, down on his haunches inside the technical area, face almost hidden under the black bobble hat, glasses covered in raindrops. Ball is played to Stuart Dallas, who's 25 yards from the Leicester goal, who are just in the perfect position at the moment, able to play on the counter with the pace of Vardy. 2-0 lead. Defending in numbers here as Shackleton plays the ball to the left, continues his run. It's just chipped beyond him. Fofana has it covered, and he shepherds it back to Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, and they're defending deep, Leicester, but looking supremely organised. Justin on the right side of the back three. Fofana, what an impact he has made. 19 years old.
Yeah.
Looks like he's been around for a decade, the way he's read the game so far. Don't want to go too early on him, but he looks a real prospect. And you think, you know, once they get Evans fit, Soyuncu, got good depth there, haven't they?
Yeah. settled in incredibly quickly. Wesley Fofana just tracking the run of Bamford at the moment. Leeds certainly won't give this up. Plenty of time left in the game, and as we know this season, they can open you up very, very easily. Here's Robin Koch, who's had a difficult evening so far. Floated ball towards Bamford, beyond Bamford, stretches a right foot out, can't control it, sticks his thumb up in the air to say that the idea was right, just slightly overhit, and the ball is behind for the goal kick. Very much a side issue, but I am aware, ahead of recording the latest Fantasy 606 podcast tomorrow, that Harvey Barnes is in your team and has already scored this evening. And you're up against Vicky Sparks in a head-to-head game. And I think your quote was last week that big guns don't lose to teams at the bottom of the table. She currently leads 63-46. Could change this evening, though.
Well, it has changed.
It has changed already, because Barnes has scored. James Justin in your team as well. Leicester are leading 2-0. Kasper Schmeichel.
That could be close.
Could be close. So make sure you download that podcast come Thursday evening. Football Daily, of course, will be there for you on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow morning. Jamie Vardy will certainly feature. He's on the ball again. He's been fabulous for Leicester in the first 25 minutes of this game. They lead 2-0. Justin plays the ball wide to the right to Albrighton. Scoop forward towards Pratt, dealt with by Dallas, closed down by Albrighton. Albrighton's onto it, and Jamie Vardy is moving again. Albrighton tries to find... Meslier almost spills it into his own net. He caught it at the near post. It slipped out of his hands. It comes bobbling back off the post.
Yes.
Yeah. If you'd let me finish.
Strange goalkeeping, that.
A few nerves at the back. Yeah. I just think they've been unnerved by Vardy, haven't they, Chris?
Well, they look shell-shocked. We spoke about Jamie Vardy in the Monday Night Club and the importance of him in this Leicester lineup. Just a totally different team, a totally different look, with the greatest respect to the other forwards there are at the club. That tells you everything you need to know about Jamie Vardy. Brilliant career story. Wasn't given a chance as a youngster, worked his way up through the ranks, still at 33, as hungry as ever, as sharp as ever, as switched on as ever.
And in the Premier League, basically scores, and I know he's not scored tonight, scores 1 in 2, 109 Premier League goals in 216 appearances. Golden Boot winner last season, title winner 2016. Leicester paid £1 million for him. It's amazing. In 2012. Free kick for Leicester, and Leeds are under pressure here. 2-0 down at home, wide on the left. Albrighton puts his left arm in the air. Good delivery, but it bounces in front of Meslier, who deals with that one much more securely. Bowls it out to Stuart Dallas, but beyond him, and so has given it straight back to Leicester. Cross comes in towards Barnes, volleyed away by Cooper for Leeds on the edge of the area, out for a throw-in to Leicester.
Yeah, Meslier having a grumble, a little shake of the head about something. What's that French game called, Bruce?
Boule or Pétanque.
Is it Pétanque?
Yeah.
Good game. Have you ever played that?
I have. I've played it plenty, Chris. Yeah. Even played it in Paris. Actually took.
Well, you would do, because
took a set, took a proper Pétanque set over there and played on the courtyards in the sunshine. How about that?
You've got a Pétanque.
Of course, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In the garage. Yeah, comes out now and again.
So what is a
very heavy? The proper ones.
How many?
4
balls. 4.
Yeah.
And you must have a little one.
The little one. Yeah.
So that's 5.
The little fella. Yeah.
That's 5.
Yes, that's 5. 5 in the set. Here come Leicester, leading 2-0. Pratt on the edge of the area, muscled out of it, gets it to Barnes. Barnes looking for a low cross. It runs to Albrighton down on the byline. Luke Thomas very nearly made it through. The ball just went bobbling over his right foot, and Leeds, for now, have dealt with the danger. 27 minutes gone. Leeds 0, Leicester 2. Fuchs to Tielemans. Mendy making a little run down the left, saying give it to me because I'm in plenty of space. He gets it, side foots it back to Fuchs. Leicester coming back towards the halfway line, and actually Tielemans decides to turn and come all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel. 28 minutes played, 2-0 Leicester.
Yeah, when you look at Leicester's away form this season, the damage they have done to teams. That win at Manchester City, the 5 they scored there, 3 on the opening day against West Brom, and at this minute it's Leeds who really are hanging on, and they're 2 down.
Barnes trying to win it back for Leicester, just inside his own half. Mendy is able to drive forward from the heart of midfield, wide to Barnes. Costa on his shoulder, nutmegs Ayling, throws himself to the floor, doesn't get the free kick, so that's a dive.
Do you know what, I wondered whether, given the benefit there, whether he was clipped. I know that the Leeds subs who were warming up down there on the left hand side were pretty animated.
Leicester leading 2-0. Here come Leeds, bringing it out from the back. Wet pitch, already heavily scarred by the footfall. Here's Mateusz Klich playing it back to Robin Koch, who has had a bit of a baptism of fire. Started every Premier League game for Leeds. First game against Liverpool, conceded a penalty in that one. Against Fulham as well. But Bielsa will keep the faith. Here's Bamford nodding it down on the edge of the Leicester penalty area, but blue shirts there before white shirts. Mendy towards Barnes. Barnes has Vardy to his right if he can time the pass correctly. Finds Vardy up against Cooper. Little step over. Harvey Barnes almost gets in his way. Vardy has run all the way across the face of the penalty area here, still going down to the byline on the left hand side, looking for support. Gets it from Luke Thomas.
Do you know what, in that situation, Vardy facing Cooper up, he elected to come inside. Cooper actually slipped, but you wonder, Jamie Vardy, had he just pushed it past Cooper on the outside and got into a foot race, you'd fancy him against absolutely anybody. Wrong option there from Vardy.
Here's Klich on the ball for Leeds in his black boots, striding forward. Little 1-2 with Stuart Dallas. It's given back to Klich, who just holds both palms out wide to his teammates and says, give me an option. You can see the wind is getting up around the stadium as well. The blue banners in the stand opposite rippling heavily on top of the seats as Fofana clears for Leicester up towards Vardy. Awkward one for him to control. Couldn't find Harvey Barnes with the pass, so Ayling has it for Leeds. 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Brendan Rodgers looking on hugely contentedly, you'd imagine. Scoop ball from Hernandez, and that's a good challenge by Fofana. The flag is up for an offside anyway, but Fofana read it and dealt with it.
He's got a yard of pace, hasn't he? Blistering pace. Really got back exceptionally well to snuff out the danger.
Leeds 0, Leicester 2. Fulham 2, West Brom 0.
That makes it interesting.
Yeah, up to 17th. You got Fulham on 4 points, West Brom on 3, Sheffield United on 1, Burnley on 1. Koch with a header forward. Fuchs wins the next aerial duel against Bamford. Volleyed away by Fofana. Barnes with a good leap, unchallenged though, finds Vardy. Vardy has his foot trodden on, that's hurt him. So he's not involved with the play at the moment. He's stopped. Wide on the left for Leicester. Leicester are building play at the back, and Vardy will slowly move back into position.
Brendan Rodgers not happy about that challenge. I suppose when any sort of knock to Jamie Vardy, Brendan would be certainly concerned because he's such an important player.
Here's Klich for Leeds to Ayling. Ayling back to Koch inside his own half. Jamie Vardy's there, about to close down, but Koch plays the pass to the left to Cooper. Cooper plays it further left as Leeds try to find a way through. Pablo Hernandez, the 35-year-old, has dropped deep. Try and get onto the ball for Leeds. Receives it from Stuart Dallas. Here is Hernandez dribbling forward. Mendy's in front of him. Fires the pass at Shackleton. Costa wins a tackle for Leeds. Looking for a little through ball to Bamford here. Back pass from Justin to Schmeichel. Clears it first time. Out for a Leeds throw on the right.
Yeah, they're dealing with Leeds pretty comfortably at the moment. Leicester at 5-4-1 out of possession, dropping to the edge of their own box, no gaps in between. And other than that early Bamford opportunity, one he should have scored, it's been very, very comfortable for Leicester.
Good change now. Here's Jack Harrison in a central position on the ball, looking for the 1-2 with Bamford. Played through, continues to chase, but the ball bounces into the arms of Schmeichel, who came charging from his line. Now stands there, dominating his penalty area, barking the orders, dummying a throw to the right, then to the left, then slings it to the right. But again, you can see the heavy pitch. The ball basically just skidded to a stop in front of Justin. Clears it with his right foot. Cooper chests it down. Leicester win it back, and here they come again, looking for a third goal in this first half. Barnes with the first, Tielemans with the second. Christian Fuchs wide on the left. Ball in field to Barnes. Barnes plays it back to Fofana. Fofana closed down by Bamford. Bamford wants help from his teammates as Leicester played around him. Here's Mendy. Mendy scuttles forward, then plays it back, and Bamford comes running across to do some more chasing. Fuchs takes it away from him. Played back to Fofana. Crosses the halfway line. Into the feet of Mendy. Mendy comes dribbling forward down the left-hand side, wide to Luke Thomas. Thomas just overran it there into the challenge of Costa. Leeds have given it away. Pratt wins it back. Pratt to Thomas to Mendy. Pratt tried to let that come to him. Dallas nipped in, took the ball. Pratt tackles him. Throw-in for Leeds in their right-back position.
Tell you what, looking at Fofana, 19 years old, and you think he's going to get better and better. He's going to carry on developing. How good is he going to be if he's this good now?
It's also not only just settling into a new team, but a new league, isn't it? Because we've seen so many players. I always remember Vidic and Evra when they first came over. It did take them a while, and he'll go through ups and downs, obviously, but he does look very comfortable. Ayling's ball in. He's probably bound to make a mistake right now, actually. That's dealt with by Leicester, headed clear by Albrighton, who comes across to cover, and it's out for a throw-in to Leeds on the right. Champions League football again this week. Continues to come at you thick and fast on BBC Radio 5 Live. John Murray and Stephen Warnock inside the Etihad Stadium tomorrow night for full commentary of Manchester City against Olympiacos. We'll have an eye on Atalanta against Liverpool, which looks like a really good game. Liverpool and City having started those group campaigns with 2 wins out of 2. Here's Tielemans. Ooh, Harvey Barnes, heavy touch, has lost it. Shackleton tackles him, but Mendy is able to get the ball back for Leicester. Here's Mendy again, closed down by Shackleton.
All good technicians though, aren't they, the Leicester players? All comfortable on the ball.
Justin back to Albrighton. Nice football again. Tielemans, first time ball to Albrighton. Harrison tries to stick with him. Albrighton got the last touch, and it's out for a throw-in to Leeds. 9 minutes left in the first half. Leeds 0, Leicester 2. 2 Champions League commentaries for you on Wednesday. The first of them will start on 5 Live Sports Extra. Kicks off at 5 to 6. Manchester United away to Istanbul Basak Shahir. Chelsea Rennes, full commentary from 8, live from Stamford Bridge. Here come Leicester again. Barnes on the dribble. Vardy makes the run, little back heel, trying to get it back to Barnes, couldn't quite get there. Costa chests it down. Good anticipation by Thomas. Right-footed curling shot saved by Meslier.
Yeah, you saw the idea, but that link-up again, Barnes and Vardy, telepathic they are at times. Vardy was popped out right-hand side of the box. Clever little back heel. It was defended by, I think it was Koch, and as the ball came out, we saw Thomas trying to bend it into that far top corner, too close to Meslier.
Stuart Dallas, the Northern Irishman, deep inside Leicester territory, central midfield. Quick pass to Ayling. Ayling looking for the through ball to Bamford, who is in. First touch not great. Schmeichel out to block and smother it, and the flag had stayed down.
Well, that's 2 golden opportunities Patrick Bamford has wasted for Leeds. There's a clever little ball in behind, and it was his first touch, Ali. Too heavy, allowed Schmeichel to come out and smother the ball. Reverse pass, and he just lets the ball get away from him too far. It's a good run, well timed run. I think he was onside. He got away from James Justin, but Schmeichel really alert, came and gathered.
Just skidded off his left boot. Had it been a decent first touch, Schmeichel wouldn't have had time to close him down. He probably would have scored.
In that situation, you just have to concentrate on keeping it close, even if it gets a little bit stuck. He just allowed Schmeichel in.
Click to Shackleton. Shackleton to Dallas for Leeds. Will be encouraged by the 2 chances they've created. Now Harrison trying to get away down the left-hand side. Albrighton loves a challenge though. Sticks to it, slides in, wins the ball, looking for Vardy, intercepted by Cooper, who got there first. Wind gusting up again as Leeds try to play down that left-hand side. They've lost it. Stuart Dallas is well forward, so they've got to be careful here, Leeds. Vardy's on his own against the two centre-backs. He won't mind that though, because if Leicester can play the right ball, he's got the beating of the pair of them. 7 minutes left in the first half. Fofana trying a little dribble under pressure from Bamford. Plays it to his left to Fuchs. Fuchs up towards Dennis Pratt, who does the split as he tries to let that ball run across his body.
Yeah, he did. Well, he didn't mean to. That would be something, wouldn't it?
If what, to do that deliberately and then pick yourself up and carry on? You must have done that, Chris, surely. Here's Cooper. Cooper bringing it forward for Leeds to Dallas. Dallas into the feet of Hernandez. Little turn from him. Cross from Harrison towards Bamford, and Thomas sticks it behind for a corner. For a second I was worried he was going to stick it into his own net, but he'll claim he had it all under control, and it's behind for a Leeds corner. Leeds 0, Leicester 2.
Yeah, I think the cross took a deflection. Yeah, I think there was a moment there where Luke Thomas may have had the nerves, but did his job well. Took no chances, put it around the post.
Corner for Leeds, short one into the near post from Hernandez, gets it straight back, flicks a little pass here to Helder Costa. On the right for Leeds, cross in with his right foot, easily dealt with by Barnes. Little 1-2 with Thomas, pass is slightly overhit by the 19-year-old. Barnes couldn't keep the move going. Click is there, down the line to Costa. Costa knocked off his feet by Thomas. Advantage is played by Andre Mariner. No need for our video assistant referee so far this evening. And here's Pablo Hernandez on the ball, pings it wide right, overhits it. Costa can't control it, and it's gone out for a throw into Leicester in the left back position. Lee Mason is the man back at Stockley Park watching the action in the video assistant referee role.
Do you think they enjoy going to work?
Yes. You don't?
Just wonder, the pressure which is on them this season. But I think a lot of it has sort of been self-inflicted.
But if you love your job, Chris, like we do, you love going to work, whatever form that's in. I mean, we obviously prefer being at the stadiums, watching players like Vardy get onto the ball wide on the left-hand side. Liam Cooper is backtracking, 2-step overs from Vardy, onto the right foot, tries the curler, it's blocked. Spins here to Ayling, plays it out to Click, that was clever, back heel, finds Ayling with his right foot, overhits it, couldn't locate Dallas. Albrighton's there, plays it back to Justin chips it forward for himself. That was brilliant.
Oh, yeah, he is, he really is versatile, playing on the right hand side of the three, but can play in the full back area, has done right back, left back.
Yeah, be interesting.
Well, what a lovely thing for a manager, a lovely player for a manager to have, to know that not only can he play a number of positions, but play them all with real composure.
And again, another, you'd say bargain buy. £6 million initial fee from Luton, could go up to £10 million, but doing a cracking job. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Leicester leading 2-0, picking Leeds apart in the early stages with goals from Harvey Barnes and Yuri Tielemans, both created by the brilliance of Jamie Vardy. Looking for a third late in the first half, if they could possibly find Vardy in the middle. Albrighton is tackled though here by Mateusz Klich. Last touch came off Albrighton, and it's out for a throw-in to Leeds, who've had 2 great chances of their own, and Patrick Bamford wasn't able to take either of them. He's been deadly for them so far this season, and the last two finishes against Aston Villa in the 3-0 win last time out were absolutely brilliant. Hasn't been able to replicate that yet this evening, and actually simpler chances.
Yeah, and just imagine for my fantasy team, had both of those gone in.
Wow.
That's been the story of my season, hasn't it?
Little violin comes out. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Costa burst of pace down the right. Fofana tries to stick with him, chips a little ball infield to Ayling with the pullback. Shackleton plays it back to Hernandez, working space, hits the shot. Leicester close it down. Mendy's able to get to the loose ball inside his own penalty area, clears it with his left foot just over the head of Vardy. Koch leans over Vardy to win the header. Late pressure from Leeds in the first half, and it's worked again to Pablo Hernandez, looking for that run of Costa, finds him on the right, crosses blocked by Thomas, corner for Leeds. Nice football.
Yeah, and he did well, Luke Thomas, because there was a moment where he just had left that gap for the ball to be played inside him, but he got back well and stopped the cross. That's his job. That leads an opportunity from this corner.
Last minute of the first half, Hernandez goes high and deep with it to the far post. Leicester players there in numbers. Fofana heads it away. Mendy darts in between two Leeds players. Liam Cooper trips him. Free kick for Leicester. Mendy grabs the ball, thinks about going quickly. No need though. Very comfortable. It's been a very, very impressive first half performance from Leicester. Come with a plan and have executed it perfectly. Obviously gifted the first goal by the poor Koch back pass, but have taken the chances when they've come. Schmeichel waits to take the free kick, 10 yards outside his penalty area, launches it high into the wind. Barnes underneath it, flicks it on towards Vardy, cleared away to Click. Ayling under pressure, could only find Tielemans for Leicester. Pratt plays it back to Albrighton. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Cross comes in, Vardy's lurking. Koch gets a foot on the ball, and luckily for him it falls to Cooper, who plays it to Ayling, who clears it upfield. And here's Costa, but his ball forward is blocked by Thomas, who continues to battle for that, up against Ayling. Last touch I thought came off the left boot of Thomas. Yeah, throw in for Leeds, which Ayling takes to Hernandez. Oh, he might have given that away again, very nearly did. Click was there just in time, jumped into the hurried clearance to his left hand side. 30 seconds remaining in the first half, with Leicester leading 2-0. Click playing the ball across the halfway line to Koch. Bamford starts to make a run through the middle. It goes wide to the right to Ayling, quickly infield to Hernandez. He's got Costa behind him, little back heel. Costa has to stretch to keep it in, has the beating of Fuchs. Now looks to get that cross in. Fuchs barges into the back of him, and Leeds will have a free kick, as my stopwatch tells me that the minute is up at the end of the first half.
It's brilliant, really brilliant quick feet from Costa, and there is a little nudge. He certainly buys that one. Costa goes down, I think, too easily. Costa Fuchs having words with the assistant on the far side, but this will be the last chance for Leeds in this first half. They could do with a goal.
Yeah, how long do they get basically? The free kick and maybe a touch after. Got to be the half-time whistle any second here. Andre Mariner will blow the whistle for the free kick, right down by the byline on the right. Clicks ball in. Schmeichel alert on his line, hooked away from his left-hand post, and there goes the half-time whistle at Ellen Road, and Leicester in control of the game. Jamie Vardy, Chris, hasn't scored, but as we said in the first half, it's been a masterclass of his art. He's created both goals. Harvey Barnes with the early one, Tielemans with the rebound after the Vardy diving header, and Leeds have got a lot to do.
Yeah, and you could say that it's been a tale of two strikers. Patrick Bamford missed that early opportunity. Leeds go straight down the other end. Vardy, sharp as you like, squares the ball for Barnes. 1-0, and then they go 2-0 up. Great movement from Vardy when the ball was in the wide area. Got across Koch, got his header on target. Tielemans tapped it in, but then Patrick Bamford missing another opportunity for Leeds. So a tale of two strikers, but Leicester, I think, deservedly in front. They've outfoxed Leeds.
But Kasper Schmeichel still has room to complain about something. He's in Andre Mariner's ear as the Leicester players leave the field. But it's been an excellent first half for Brendan Rodgers' team. Leeds 0, Leicester 2. Marcelo Bielsa has made a change. He's taken off 21-year-old Jamie Shackleton, and he's put on 20-year-old Jan Poveda, who joined the club in January from Manchester City. 20 years old, as I say. 3 substitute appearances in the Premier League so far this season. He's taken up station wide on the right-hand side. Born in London to Colombian parents. I remember watching him for Manchester City. I think in his only ever appearance for the club, that second leg League Cup semi-final against Burton Albion, when they won the first leg 9-0.
Well, you don't think it, you know it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have I got it written down? I've not got it written down. That's why I'm just... I think I'm right about that, Chris. I think I'm right about that. Leicester are leading 2-0. Here come Leeds early on, all in white. Harrison's ball to the far post, beyond Poveda, who I'm pretty sure, Chris, I did see play for Manchester City that one time, and the ball's behind for a goal kick. And as I turn to my left there, you're drinking water out of a can this evening. I thought you were drinking lager there for a second. I thought, steady on, Chris.
Well, after the Monday night club, then I think you'd maybe understand if I turned to alcohol. But no, the environment, Bruce.
The cans of water on the bottles, very good. You're putting me to shame with mine. Although 100% recyclable.
Yeah,
Chris.
You've wormed you out of that well.
Goal kick Leicester. They lead 2-0. Schmeichel takes it, so he's down our end of the field. We're sitting on a commentary gantry here, which I like actually. It's quite old school. We're not in a press box in the stand. We're kind of above the stand on the side of the pitch, and it feels like you're leaning over the top of the pitch, and we're slightly to the left of the halfway line, so we're at the end of the ground where Leicester scored the 2 goals in the first half, and that movement that Mark and Chris were talking about at half-time from Jamie Vardy, just got such a perfect view of that as you watched him from behind making his move to get in position to get the header on target. Costa is tackled wide on the left, and the ball is behind for a Leeds corner. So Poveda on for Shackleton, and I'll give you those 2 team lineups, a reminder of them in just a second. Once we see what Leeds can do with the corner, the cameraman's in close there, they take it short. Click to Harrison back to Stuart Dallas with a curling ball in, gone all the way through and in, and Stuart Dallas may well get the goal himself because everyone jumped. I'm not sure anyone got a touch, and Kasper Schmeichel just watched it bounce once and sail into the corner of the net, and Leeds are back in it right at the start of the second half. Leeds 1, Leicester 2.
Yeah, right back in it, and it's a short corner and has popped out to Dallas. He must be all of 30 yards, level with the left-hand side of the box, right-footed in-swinger. And you can see the Leeds players, Leicester very, very deep as they would be. And the Leeds players attack the ball, and it just goes straight in past Schmeichel into the far corner. What a start to the second half. They needed that early goal. You felt that. They were going to come out full throttle. No, very much game on.
Yeah, makes things very, very interesting. 2 teams that have started the season well, that are approaching this game very differently. Leeds having missed the chances in the first half. Bamford have them both, but having scored early in the second half. And now just watching some of the movement up top. Poveda wide on the right, Harrison wide on the left, switching positions with Helder Costa. Bamford through the middle, Dallas making a run wide down the left as Leeds knock it about between the 2 centre-backs inside their own half. Ball is now slipped through the channel towards Bamford, overhit and into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. So Meslier in goal, Luke Ayling, Robin Koch, Liam Cooper and Stuart Dallas as a back 4. It's Jamie Shackleton who's made way. So Mateusz Klich in central midfield. Then those other names I've mentioned, Harrison and Costa and Hernandez, in support of Patrick Bamford through the middle. Leicester 3 centre-backs tonight, James Justin, Wesley Fofana and Christian Fuchs in front of Kasper Schmeichel, defending again for them to do. Dallas on the move, skips past Fofana.
Well, that should be a free kick, I think. Dallas was impeded, then overran the ball, and that's a strong challenge that from Dallas. Brendan Rodgers not happy with that, and he's getting a yellow card.
Dallas is annoyed, Chris, isn't he, that he didn't get the free kick which he should have had. Goes charging in to win the ball back. I think actually got a bit of ball, but went sliding through, took Albrighton as well. Albrighton's not made a fuss, he's picked himself up, and Dallas gets booked. The Premier League accrediting Stuart Dallas with the goal, which is...
Well, they should do, because that was his
goal. Yeah, no, but the point I was going to make, it looked like Fuchs might have got a slight touch with his head, but it's on target anyway, isn't it? And it's an awful one for a goalkeeper, that, because you've got to expect that someone's going to get a touch, and it looks a bit silly when it ends up going in.
Yeah, and that's exactly for where Dallas. Well, that's exactly where Dallas was aiming the ball and hoping that Leeds players, can get across the goalkeeper's eye line, and of course, Kasper Schmeichel, in that situation, impossible for him, really.
Albrighton wide on the right for Leicester. This is deep in Leeds territory. Ball is taken off him by Klich. So the fullbacks for Leicester, 19-year-old Luke Thomas and Mark Albrighton wide on the right-hand side. Mendy in that central midfield role, Tielemans and Pratt, and then Jamie Vardy through the middle. We've not had too much chance to chat about it, but it's effectively Pratt in for Maddison this evening, who's sitting on that Leicester bench, as is Ayoze Perez, Cengiz Ünder as well, amongst the Leicester substitutes this evening. They're leading 2-1. Leeds back in it early in the second half.
Yeah, I suppose you look at the Leicester bench and the likes of Maddison and Ünder on the bench. They've got a lot of players out injured, but they've got some options, haven't they? Forward areas.
Free kick for Leicester in the right back position. Gary Flintoff, our producer, sitting quite a long way away. I'm just going to sort of think out loud. Just wondering if Gary has started a stopwatch for the second half. He's looking at me blankly and shaking his head, because I haven't. Did you start a stopwatch, Chris, for the second half? I was so busy concentrating on coffee and cantaloupe that I'm eating here out of my little pot. It's lovely, delicious. Here's Bamford on the turn for Leeds, all in white, playing from right to left in this second half. Ayling to Poveda, little nutmeg from Poveda on Thomas, couldn't find a teammate, edge of the area. Harvey Barnes is back there, has the pace to run past Click, who sticks a foot out. Mendy goes steaming into a challenge. Cooper jumps in as well, got enough of the ball, caught a bit of Mendy. Leeds have it on the right. Here's Hernandez slides one through. Harrison can't reach it. It ends up with Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, just overweighted the pass from Hernandez. Clever little run from Harrison in between two Leicester centre backs, and the goalkeeper gathered.
Christian Fuchs steaming forward for Leicester, so Leicester all in blue.
It's nicely set up now, isn't it?
Beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah.
Leeds getting that early goal, but Leicester are looking dangerous when they break out.
Poveda again, stepping inside one challenge up to the edge of the area. Ball played into feet here, and Hernandez is tackled. He's annoyed with himself because there were teammates making good ground in the middle, the likes of Harrison, Bamford and Costa. So it is a change-up for Leeds in this second half in terms of what Leicester have got to deal with, and it's certainly been a threat in the early stages. Leeds 1, Leicester 2. Jason Tindall, by the way, the Bournemouth manager, you'll hear an interview with him on 5 Live Breakfast tomorrow morning after Bournemouth's excellent start to this season. Chris Latcham has done the interview. They are the only unbeaten team, Chris, I believe, in the top 4 divisions. So Jason Tindall,
I knew that.
You knew that?
I did know that, actually.
And you'll be able to listen to him tomorrow.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job early days so far. Big shoes to fill.
Here come Leeds again, bringing the ball up to the halfway line with Helder Costa, who stops, turns back, and they play it from left to right and work it wide to the right hand side.
Isn't it so impressive that, look, I know Leeds are behind tonight, but they come up into the Premier League and they impose the way they play on everybody, don't they? Don't leave anybody out. They don't care whether it's Liverpool, it's Manchester City, Leicester.
Yeah. Well, that game against Manchester City, I mean, the rain's actually stopped this evening, but that was on a ridiculous night of rain here, and that was enthralling, those two going toe-to-toe with Bielsa and Guardiola on the sidelines. Corner for Leeds. Harrison with his left foot, and away swinger, headed away by Fofana. Drops on the edge of the area. Good first touch by Hernandez. Oh, he's rattled the crossbar. Right-footed curling shot. He thought it was in. Schmeichel couldn't do anything about it. It comes thudding back off the woodwork, and it's back in the Leeds half. What a strike that was.
Well, what about the first bit of play is couple of touches, but his Leeds again. Yeah,
Harrison's crossing from the left beyond Bamford. Costa threatening wide on the right. Thomas has it covered, knocks it behind for a corner. Leicester are under the pump here.
Well, it's all Leeds, isn't it? Leicester cannot get out, but the ball is cleared up to the edge of the box. He takes one touch and shifts it round. Fofana shapes to bend it into that far top corner. Schmeichel rooted, crashes off the crossbar. How unlucky is that?
Hits that join, that apex between post and crossbar, and you probably heard it on the mics actually. Absolutely thumped it. Corner into the near post. headed down by Fofana. The ball is still in the Leicester penalty area. Vardy's back there and just hacks it away.
That's the old anywhere will do. See Brendan Rodgers working his technical area. They cannot get a foothold in this second half. Now, they were defending deep in the first half, but they had an element of control.
Throwing down the line to Poveda. So his introduction seems to have made a difference, the way Leeds have lined up in the second half. Koch has lost it just inside the Leicester half, but Leeds back quickly to win it with Ayling, who's looking right and left for an option. Goes left to Stuart Dallas. Dallas is chased hard by Dennis Pratt, the Belgian. Dallas to Costa on the halfway line. Mateusz Klich comes towards him, takes the ball off Dallas, rolls it across the halfway line to Koch, the centre-back, who brings it forward for Leeds, lays it off to Hernandez. Poveda then is on his left and Ayling is wide on the right. It's played to Ayling, then Poveda, now Hernandez. It's a blur of movement from the white shirts. Dallas has got Harrison wide on the left, but plays back into midfield inside the Leicester half. Good tackle on Harrison by Albrighton. Leicester moving quickly on the counter. Tielemans is caught in possession. He's fouled and then his foot is trodden on, so we hear a yelp of pain. Leicester get a free kick.
Yeah, Leeds just overturning the ball, but what they do exceptionally well is they hunt and try and win the ball so high up, and Tielemans gets his body in, and there are 3 Leeds players surrounding him, but he was fouled. Did well, Tielemans, under immense pressure.
You can hear full commentary on Leeds again, by the way, on Saturday. It's the 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League, away to Crystal Palace, which will be a full commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live. Never a dull moment watching Leeds back in the top flight after 16 years away. Luke Thomas with a tackle on Poveda, gets a foot in, throw in for Leeds. They make ground up the pitch, throw in on the right. So Helder Costa has taken up station wide on the left. Jack Harrison just inside him. The ball is wide on the right at the moment with Ayling. Poveda, who's a little trickster there, tries a darting move. He's tackled, he's lost control, and the ball's gone out for a Leicester throw in the left back position. Is that Maddison chatting to Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah,
looks like Maddison might be coming on for Leicester. And I've spotted there's a clock up on the big screen away to our right, Chris. 58 minutes gone in the game. That's good news. We've got a stopwatch now, which is good. Throw in down the left. Poveda gets a flick on it. Vardy's not really had a touch in the second half, apart from a hurried clearance inside his own penalty area. But Leicester still lead by 2-1, and as it stands are going second in the Premier League table. But Leeds are going to keep coming with Costa. Costa steaming forward down the left, diving challenge from Pratt, who catches him, didn't get anywhere near the ball. Free kick for Leeds.
I think Hernandez gesturing to the referee saying it should be a yellow card. He goes to ground so early, Pratt does, and this is another opportunity for Leeds. It's a little bit closer from where Dallas actually scored from, maybe a little bit wider as well.
Harrison in space on the left, whistle blows, they take it quickly, they work it to Jack Harrison with that hair tied back in a little ponytail at the back of his head, shaved on the sides. Click, back to Dallas. Dallas quickly to his right hand side finds Ayling with a floated diagonal towards Harrison, just brushes the top of his head, couldn't get proper contact, and the ball is behind for a goal kick. This Leicester backline is going to be tested in the second half, and Maddison is now getting ready to come on. Goal kick for Leicester. Schmeichel giving the instructions, thinking about going to his right. He does. Low ball to Justin. James Justin closed down by Harrison. Justin flicks it up towards Vardy, runs towards it, and then tries to play it back into the path of Justin behind him, and out for a throw-in to Leeds on the left on the halfway line. James Maddison continues to receive the instructions. Number 10 on his back. Blue shirt untucked. Here's Harvey Barnes on the ball for Leicester inside his own half, chased by Bamford, finds Albrighton. Pass forwards is intercepted. Here's
they can't string 3 passes together, Leicester, unless credit to Leeds.
Costa. Tielemans just tries to knock him off the ball with his shoulder. Costa was too strong. Play to Harrison. Harrison to Click. Long way out. Fancies a dip. Bouncing shot, and Schmeichel skidding to his right. Grabs it safely with both hands.
Yeah, watchful from Schmeichel. Clicks all of 30 yards out. Puts his laces through it, and Schmeichel gathers that easily.
Rolls it to Fofana. Barnes tries to turn his pass around the corner, but Leicester have given the ball away again. Cheaply there, so what can Leeds do with it this time? Click pops up in central midfield. Vardy comes back to help out. Click takes it away from him and plays it to Liam Cooper, back in central defence for Leeds this evening. Having missed a couple of games with a groin injury, Leeds have lost it. Pratt towards Vardy. Oh, Vardy turns away from Cooper, who slips. Harrison tries to stick with him. Vardy slips. Vardy says he was tugged back, doesn't get the free kick.
No, I thought it was really good defending from Harrison in a foot race with Vardy, kept with him. But what a turn from Vardy, made Cooper look really foolish there.
Here's Ayling, wide on the right for Leeds. Again, lots of movement around that penalty area, around the Leicester box. Dallas heads the crossfield pass to Harrison, who does a little shimmy with his body to try and lose Albrighton. Harrison for a second just looks out of puff because he's stopped.
Well, he would be. Just track back 40 yards in a foot race with Jamie Vardy.
He's a fit young man, Chris. Here's Poveda on the dribble. Up to the edge of the area. Hernandez's layoff is overhit, but Leeds still have it with Click. Click to Dallas. Dallas to Harrison. Harrison wide on the left. Back to Dallas. Onto that right foot. Similar cross into the far post. Over the head of Poveda, which isn't hard because he's about my height. And it's gone behind for the goal. I might even be taller than him, actually. Maddison is getting ready to come on here for Dennis Pratt. So let's see what he can do to try and get a foot on the ball, I guess, for Leicester in the second half,
I think that's why Brendan Rodgers has brought him on. You know, such a talented player. But Leicester have been dominated by Leeds in this second half. I think Brendan Rodgers wants to gain some control, try and dominate the ball themselves, and here he is. Lovely first touch.
Ball played up to him on the halfway line. Maddison immediately into the action. So Leeds 1, Leicester 2. If you are just joining us here on BBC Radio 5 Live at Ellen Road, where the rain has finally stopped. Pratt is looking for some refreshment with his night's work done as he heads to his seat. Justin trying to find Vardy. Passes off target. Justin's got to chase back now to get back into a defensive position. Leeds have it inside their own half with Dallas. Dallas to Cooper. Cooper across the face of the Leeds penalty area to Robin Koch. Quickly on to Ayling. Ayling up that right touchline to Hernandez. Hernandez chips one in to Poveda. Brings it down on his right thigh. Lays it off to Ayling wide on the right. Finds Poveda again. One-on-one with Fuchs. Fuchs sticks a foot in. Last touch off Poveda. Throwing for Leicester in the left-back position.
Yeah, he's a tricky little customer, isn't he, Poveda? What a fresh impetus to Leeds in this second half.
Throwing Leicester, taking their time. Here are a couple of Leeds players telling them to get on with it. Fuchs launches it down the left-hand touchline. Flick on towards Maddison. Beaten to it by Dallas for Leeds. Dallas swings the pass to the left. Doesn't quite get that right. It's beyond Costa, beyond Albrighton, and goes straight out of play for a throw into Leicester. So Leicester will be happy just to have slowed the Leeds charge. And I think Leeds are going to make a first change of this second half as well. And Marcelo Bielsa is giving the instructions, and they look detailed. Justin takes the throw in for Leicester down the line, chested down and cleared, and out for a throw in to Leeds, which Dallas will take. Players come running towards him. 2 balls on the field, so we'll have a brief hiatus. Is it Tyler Roberts? Just trying to see who that is. He's getting ready to come on for Leeds. Click, flicks the ball infield to Bamford, played back to Hernandez. Hernandez digs his right foot underneath the ball. Enough air on it though for Luke Thomas to read it, scamper across and headed out for a throw-in to Leeds. Leicester continue to soak up the pressure in this second half. We've got 25 minutes plus added time to be played, on air through until 10:30 tonight. And former Leeds striker Jermaine Beckford, I believe, joining us after the full-time whistle to discuss the game and other footballing matters. Football Daily podcast there for you via the BBC Sounds app tomorrow morning as Mendy stabs the little first-time ball to Maddison. Back to Mendy, chips it up in the air. Albrighton continues a run. Here's Maddison. Vardy through the middle. Maddison has got Jack Harrison right behind him, trying to turn away from him. Harrison knocks him to the floor. The referee says that's a fair challenge, shoulder to shoulder. Hernandez with his right foot just floats a pass out to Poveda. Poveda's closed down by Thomas. Back to Ayling here. Hernandez chases this down the right, but it goes out for a Leicester throw. Here comes the change.
It's Tyler Roberts.
It is Tyler Roberts, yeah. Welsh striker, just 21 years old.
Yeah, he must be clear in his mind what he needs to do.
Yes.
Is Bielsa, through his interpreter, was talking to him for a good 3 or 4 minutes. Always wonder with the interpreter, would you chuck a line in? Bielsa didn't say, just for.
Definitely. Definitely. You're probably risking your job, aren't you? But it would be amusing if you could just relieve the tension a little bit as Leeds are trying to get back into this game. So Tyler Roberts is on, and it was Pablo Hernandez, the 35-year-old, who is coming off. But of course, as is the way nowadays, as Leeds take a quick corner, Harrison into the far post, headed away. Mendy, ball skids past him, but that's okay for Leicester because it runs to Maddison. Bamford with his long legs comes chasing. Maddison still onto it. Bamford sticks a leg out, can't win it. Tielemans under pressure, turns out of a tight space, plays it back to Fofana. Christian Fuchs gets his head down, starts charging forward to Tielemans. Tielemans with the outside of his right boot, lays it off to Maddison. Leicester have worked it up the left-hand side of the field, and again Fuchs carrying the ball forward. Barnes on the turn is tackled. Here's one for Bamford to chase. In behind Fofana, could get there first. Oh, Schmeichel gets a touch on the ball. It hits Bamford, runs off Bamford, and runs away harmlessly from Leicester's point of view.
Yeah, it's a really clever run. He's always, watching him throughout this game, always looking to peel in behind. As that run where he comes in towards the ball, and then drifts in behind the defence. And he was onside, got him behind Fofana. Lovely ball in, and Schmeichel, the sweeper, got to it first. It got a bit lucky there, Schmeichel, and the ball actually ricochets. He's trying to just knock it past Bamford. It ricochets off Bamford's right shin and gets away from him.
Fofana with his right foot takes a free kick for Leicester after Maddison was fouled. Harvey Barnes is beaten in the air. 68 minutes played here at Ellen Road. Crossing from Luke Thomas. Leicester are leading 2-1. Early goal for Leeds in this second half. Vardy's layoff to Maddison. Dummies the first time shot, then runs into a whole heap of bodies. Gets the pass though off to Barnes. Barnes with a right-footed effort. Straight at Meslier. Comfortable save.
That was lovely from James Maddison. Well, he popped the ball around the corner to Jamie Vardy. Comes back to him. And I just wondered, he has such a good right foot. Why not try and fire a shot? He was only 20 yards out. Took the extra touch, and the Leeds defenders smothered him out of it.
Yeah, you think about the one he scored against Manchester City this season, admittedly in a different position, lining one up from a long way out, but he felt he might hit that one. He didn't, so the chance has gone. Here's Tyler Roberts, his first touch, good one, chests the ball down, turns, flicks the ball down the right for Poveda to chase just beyond him, and it squeaks behind for a goal kick to Leicester. Just felt Schmeichel was being ever so slightly careful, Chris, of that through ball to Bamford, that he didn't want to clatter into him and sort of give the referee. You're right, he got to the ball first, didn't he, and tried an almost a little dink with his right foot, which hit Bamford, and luckily for him came off Bamford and went behind and allowed Leicester to clear. Second change for Leicester. Mark Albrighton, is it coming off, or is Mark Albrighton just coming towards it? It's Harvey Barnes, is it?
Harvey Barnes, yeah.
Harvey Barnes coming off, and Chengizunda, who at the start of the game I was calling Chenigzunda, And you got the letters in the right order for me. And I know you get annoyed when I correct you, so thank you for correcting me. Brighton thought he was away down the right. Costa's got a bit lucky. Costa's gone down and won a free kick there that might not have been. So,
yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because, you know, when we commentate together, you always take great delight in telling me how I pronounce names poorly and how I'm wrong.
No.
And taste of your own medicine tonight, Bruce.
Yeah, absolutely. You were right. I was wrong. I like you to be accurate, and I know you like to be accurate. So it's not taking a delight. It's just, you know, wanting to get it right. Here's Click with his right foot, floats one towards Ayling. Ayling jumps in here. The ball actually cleared him, but then stayed in play on the right. And he was able to turn and get it. Thomas tackles him and concedes a throw. And it's become a sort of tight, tense tussle last 10 minutes as Leeds continue to press and look for an equaliser. Ayling working some space on the right. Back to Harrison. Harrison digs a ball into the penalty area, beyond Bamford, beyond everyone, and behind for a goal kick. Chris Sutton.
And that's, you know, talking about Bamford's movement, Leicester defending deeply, but is always looking for that diagonal. That time he came towards the ball and the opportunity was gone. But they look for that at times, Leeds. Bamford peeling away, and then they get runners in and around Patrick Bamford looking for the little knockdown.
Leeds 1, Leicester 2. Schmeichel with the goal kick for Leicester, beaten by the Stuart Dallas effort from long range. That was a ball into the penalty area that ended up just bouncing and ending up in the back of the net. Here's Under, tackled by Dallas, cleared first time by Liam Cooper for Leeds. The ball's come off for Fafana, it's fallen to the feet of Roberts, and there's an offside against Leeds. Free kick for Leicester.
You just get the feeling Leeds' intensity at the start of the second half really put Leicester under immense pressure, whether Leicester have weathered a bit of a storm now.
Fafana with the free kick, straight down the middle of the pitch. Vardy, well, that's too high for him, doesn't even bother to jump. It goes straight over his head and ends up with Meslier, who's bowled the ball out. Ayling down the right towards Tyler Roberts. Thomas, the bouncing ball, Leicester's left back, knocks it downfield. Koch almost miscontrolled that, and Vardy was sniffing around, but Leeds have dealt with it. Here's Dallas on the left, closed down by Chingizunda. Click on the turn to Koch. Koch up the middle of the pitch to Tyler Roberts, who's dropped a little bit deeper, lays it off to his right to Ayling. Poveda starts to make a run, moves infield. Here is Poveda. Ayling's continued his run, flag stays down. Has to be a penalty. Andre Mariner thinks about it.
Wow.
And says goal kick.
Well, there must have been a dive then.
So should be a yellow card.
You know, it's interesting because he goes to ground, Ayling, and from where we're sitting, I think we're thinking penalty. It's awful. I mean, that's the worst of the worst. Another one, Bruce, for the simulation game. That is dreadful. And why isn't he booked?
Totally, Chris. That is the point. You've got to be booked for that, because as he runs away, he knows he's done that. Andre Mariner has spotted it, but you're not dissuaded from doing it if you don't get a yellow card for it.
I mean, you know, we can call it simulation. It's cheating. It's trying to con the referee in that moment. I mean, that's dreadful.
That's a bad one. That is a bad one. And
dear me.
The reason I shouted penalty was because it was such a dramatic dive.
He fooled you.
Well, he did fool me.
I'll be honest, he fooled me.
Yeah,
we're a long way away.
You're not going to throw yourself... Well, I'm thinking you're not going to throw yourself down like that if you haven't been touched.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And you're not going to get away with it. VAR's going to spot that.
There wasn't any contact.
That's a bad one. And that simulation game already sorted for you for the weekend. Tyler Roberts goes down, no free kick. And Schmeichel has the ball at his feet. 15 minutes to play, just over. Yeah, it's bad.
Never. I mean, every week, I mean, we don't have to go and hunt for these. I mean, they're there. I mean, it's so obvious.
What a great
ball.
Touch. Yeah, great ball. Great touch. Maddison through to Under. and it might be Vardy who sticks it away. Offside flag stays down. Jamie Vardy has his goal, and Leicester have a third at Ellen Road. Leeds trying desperately to get back into the game in the second half, have had most of the ball, most of the pressure, but Jamie Vardy at it again. Leeds 1, Leicester 3.
What a goal this is, one end to the other. It's the touch from James Maddison on the half turn. It's the ball from Fuchs. It's really whipped into him, not an easy one to take, but Maddison on the half turn takes it, slides Under in, and Under dinks it over the Leeds goalkeeper. And there's Jamie Vardy on hand, onside, easiest goal he's ever scored. And Leicester absolutely devastating.
Who was it, Chris, that chipped it in for Vardy to score the winner against Arsenal? In a sort of, I mean, that's a different goal, but it was a similar little crossfield pass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if that was Under, who that was, or was it Pratt? I can't believe it's similar that with Vardy running in to finish. But you're right, the touch from Maddison.
I mean, he's such a good player. Makes it look so easy. Most people would think about the ball fizzed in, and it was on the half volley. He took it. Most people would think about just trying to control it, facing it with the back to play. He took it on the half turn into space. Lovely pass at the right time. Under in, and now that goal. You're thinking Leicester must be 3 points. And up to second.
Yeah, 1 point behind Liverpool with the win as the rain starts to fall again here. So Leeds, 2 goals behind again, 13 minutes to play. Poveda with his tricks, doesn't beat Luke Thomas. Tried to nutmeg him, pulls him back and fouls him. Free kick for Leicester, and they hung in well, Chris. They dealt with the pressure, let Leeds kind of run out of steam a little bit, and then that is just a classic Leicester goal, that.
Yeah, I think you summed that up perfectly. Classic Leicester. Do you know what? Second half, it's been all Leeds. Leicester haven't been able to get up the pitch, but that was top quality, one end to the other. They've got some brilliant technicians, but the finisher, they have Jamie Vardy, the leader of the line. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, bang, game over.
110th Premier League goal for Jamie Vardy, 7th this season. Puts him level with Salah, one behind Calvert-Lewin.
Be really stupid, wouldn't you, to get him out of your fantasy team?
I did that quite early, Chris.
Yeah.
Did that quite early.
Really stupid.
Yeah, to bring Harry Kane in, who's done all right, I think. Can't have them all, Chris. You can't have them all. Even though I know you're going to go past me this week and make a big deal about it on the Fantasy 606 podcast, which we're recording tomorrow morning.
Afternoon.
It is afternoon, you're right, yeah. Albrighton, right back for Leicester. Done a good job this evening, playing right wing back. He's enjoyed the defensive side of the game, has cleared the ball. Leeds have a throw on the left. And as you've been saying throughout the evening, their form away from home in particular, Leicester.
Yep.
Very, very dangerous opponents on the road. Here's Dallas, who got Leeds back into it early in the second half, to Tyler Roberts. Roberts with his back to goal, down by the byline. Mendy makes the tackle. That is a corner for Leeds, who, if they can score the next one with 10 minutes to go, again could make things very interesting. Vardy comes sprinting back into the Leicester penalty area to do some defending and some shouting and some pointing and making sure that Leicester don't switch off and concede one here. Jack Harrison will take the corner with his left foot, and away swinger headed across goal by Koch, and Schmeichel throws himself, slaps it with his left hand and picks up the bouncing ball.
Yeah, flick from Koch, and Schmeichel taking no chances, just looped up in the air, got his feet going quickly. You have to say the substitution from Brendan Rodgers, bringing Maddison on, they've just really, since he came on, got a real foothold, made some passes, and he has that X factor, doesn't he? That little bit of quality. Just lifted the Leicester team in the second half.
Created that third goal. It was Jamie Vardy stuck away. Here's Click's ball. Fofana, brilliant defending in front of Bamford, wanted to win it, got a foot on it. It's back with Click again for Leeds. Costa with his left foot just stabs it back to Click. Click looking for the diagonal wide to the right. Ayling underneath it, heads it to his right, finds Poveda. Poveda moving back towards the halfway line on the right, plays his pass back to Koch. Now Ayling looks up, should be able to get a cross in, deflected and behind for a corner. Leicester at home to Wolves next in the Premier League, but they've got a busy month actually, because in November there's 2 Europa League games against Braga home and away, at home to Wolves and away to Liverpool. And with their away form, that's an interesting one. Alioski is on for Leeds. Stuart Dallas has come off. They've got a corner, Leeds, and there's 10 minutes to play and they trail 3-1. Away swinger, Fuchs underneath it, heads it high in the air. Click lets it bounce twice, goes out for a throw, takes that quickly. Poveda struggled to control it as it bounced up high on him. Nodded away by Thomas. Maddison goes down, not going to get a free kick for that. Poveda to Ayling. Ayling looking for an option, wide on the right for Leeds. Finds Poveda. Back here to Roberts. Roberts cross in, headed away by James Justin. Alioski with his first touch, hits the shot, that hits Albrighton, spins away to the left wing for Leeds. Costa's cross, and Albrighton is across to block that, and it's behind for a Leeds corner. Expected Leeds pressure at the moment, but Leicester dealing with it.
Yeah, and Alioski, I think he can count himself a little bit unlucky to be left out of the starting lineup. Was very good against Aston Villa, coming on thumping a shot, but it's all Leeds again, but Leicester standing firm.
Harrison with the corner for Leeds. They're trailing 3-1. Christian Fuchs.
Yeah, he's been good as well, hasn't he? You know, you mentioned the old guard.
Harrison, great skill to beat Albrighton. Got the cross in. Under can't get his head on that. Click plays it back to Alioski with the peroxide blonde hair. Little layoff here to Ayling. Ayling running from left to right across the Leicester half. Plays it wide right to Helder Costa. Down the line to Ayling. Ayling to Costa again. Liam Cooper comes charging forward, takes a touch, gives it to Click. Click chips one in the air. Fuchs is underneath it, heads it away to the edge of the box. Maddison cleverly nods it down to Luke Thomas in space in the left back position, chips it down the field to Vardy. Vardy nods it down to Tielemans. Oh, Vardy was looking
to... gone early, hadn't he? Here he goes again, though. He's in this time.
Oh, he is. Under's found him. It's one-on-one. Vardy into the penalty area with the dink. Oh, he's missed it. He stabbed it wide. He's gone tumbling over the goalkeeper, and it's behind for a goal kick. And he had options there, Chris, to try and bury that bottom corner, and he went for the little dink.
Well, Jamie Vardy is human. Brilliant run, because initially he'd run offside, but then checks his run, and he was away from Cooper, and you're thinking the back of the net's going to bulge. Had time, delayed a little bit, got his head up, had a look. Meslier came out, shut the angle down, but he got that one horribly wrong. Should have been 4.
It's Meslier, not Meslier, by the way. Here's Ayling. I'm already looking forward, by the way. I know you'll be working on this after the Ayling dive tonight. There'll be some pun or rhyme with Ayling that will feature on 606 at the weekend, which I'm already looking forward to. Fuchs with a clearance for Leicester, but there was a foul over there on Poveda. Free kick for Leeds. And the other one I enjoyed, it's a yellow card actually. It's a yellow card for Luke Thomas. Was the 60-year-old, was he 60, Chris, who came on last night and had a strategy. He thought goalkeepers weren't doing enough to save penalties in the Premier League, and he was going to offer 2/3 of the goal, wasn't he? He was going to stand to one side of the goal.
Yeah, but that wasn't about him offering that, although it did get to that at the end. It was about, that was what Premier League goalkeepers should do.
But in the end it got to, right, we'll come and take some penalties against you, and he was offering you 2/3 of the goal.
But that was only because he said he was 60.
And you backed yourself. Yeah. Oh dear. Leeds 1, Leicester 3. Jamie Vardy should have scored 2. Wes Morgan on for Vardy, but probably not going up top, Chris. I wouldn't have thought.
That's good assumption.
Yeah.
Balls coming into the box. Wes Morgan go and head things, keep it out of the net. Job done, Jamie Vardy.
Pleasure to watch again. So different. We were talking about them at the start of the game. So integral, like Bamford is to Leeds, in a totally different way, in the way that the team plays. But movement from Vardy. Free kick for Leeds into the... Morgan straight in, just knocking people out of the way to win a header. Cengiz Under with a back heel, doesn't come off. I think Brendan Rodgers probably would have preferred him to keep the ball there, but the throw-in actually is Leicester's somehow. So they'll be quite happy with that because they can run the clock down a little bit more. And as Chris was saying, they're heading second in the Premier League tonight. Liverpool 16 points. Leicester will be on 15 points.
And you know what people will be saying? Can they? Yeah, can they?
Can they, Chris?
That's the theme, isn't it?
Well, the point is they can.
Can Spurs?
Of course they can.
They
it is
can,
possible.
they did.
Will they is the question.
Oh, will they? Can they?
Well, no, can they? Because they can. Because mathematically they can. Can't they? That's what can means. No, come on.
Very pernickety.
Be
Bruce.
accurate.
You know what I was saying.
Leeds 1, Leicester 3. You're asking, will they? Have they?
No, that's what people are saying. Can they? That's what.
Can they win the Premier League title?
Can they win the Premier League
yes.
again? And they're saying again.
Again.
Can they do it again?
Can they? Alioski chips it back to Meslier. Meslier with his...
it's interesting that one though, isn't it? Because you were calling him Meslier at Arsenal last season. Now you've changed, you've turned.
Ball down the right to Albrighton. Albrighton's got Click behind him, crosses into the shins of Click, and the ball has gone behind for the Leicester corner. And Click immediately grabs the ball, puts it on the spot. Leicester in no hurry, and James Maddison is dragging himself across to take the corner. It's going to be another excellent win for Leicester. So maybe that's the question for the listeners tonight. Text us 85058. Just can they? Can they? Question mark. Corner in. Might drop here to a Leicester shirt in the penalty area. Under is there. Under to Maddison. Maddison taking on Alioski. Beats him, then comes back again for a little bit more. Under into to win the ball. Little dummy from him. Pass back down the line to Albrighton. Leicester enjoying themselves now. Oh, Maddison, what a lovely flick. To Under, wide on the right, down by the corner flag. Tries a little drag to get past Pervader. Now Costa's at it in the left-back position, because Leeds will obviously play out from here. Tight spots, Alioski clears, only as far as Albrighton. Challenge on Maddison.
That was a foul, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's either on the edge of the area, it might even have been just in the area. Maddison can't believe he's not got that decision. And actually, if it's in the area, that is one that VAR can have a look at while this move continues to build.
Well, they should be having a look at it without a doubt. He was clearly clipped. I think the question was it inside the box or outside the box?
We'll wait and see. Click. Right-footed ball up towards Harrison, dealt with by Justin. Justin, Fofana and Fuchs have been really good for Leicester this evening. Here's Maddison, who's come on and made a difference as well. Not a great pass from him because Pervader's able to get that. Surely he was fouled there. Yeah, he was. By Fuchs, free kick. Referee's just blown the whistle and said, hold fire for a second. As if, let's not take this just yet. So does that mean we're looking at Maddison? It does, doesn't it, Chris?
Brighton into Maddison.
It's in the area, isn't it?
Oh, is it? It's on the... It's got 1 foot on the line. And does he just drift out? It's so tight.
You're basically just asking questions now like, is it?
Yeah,
Can they? Does he? Will it?
Can it be?
Could it?
I think this is going to be given.
Okay.
I do.
Wow.
I mean,
and Jamie Vardy's not on the field to stick it away.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, yes. Andre Mariner has drawn that imaginary rectangle, and he is going to come over, Chris, and decide for himself whether that was in the penalty area or not.
It was a foul.
Or whether it was a foul. Okay, it is a foul.
A clear foul.
So it's whether it's in the area or not.
And this is the tricky bit, isn't it?
What is?
Whether it's in the area or not. This could take 5 or 7 minutes.
Well, let's hope it doesn't. What do you think, Chris? Is it?
Whatever I say is going to be wrong.
Okay. Jermaine Beckford's wagging a finger and saying it's not.
I think that's
a
penalty. Oh. Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a penalty for Leicester. Yeah. It's a penalty for Leicester. They're leading 3-1.
And I've got to say, when you put me on the spot, I was right again.
Yeah, so bold. And James Maddison wants it. James Maddison is an excellent striker of a dead ball. Jamie Vardy will be kicking himself he's not on the field. But James Maddison is going to have the chance, having won the penalty.
Do you know what I think they should do?
Oh, no, not Maddison.
But do you know what I think they should do in this situation?
Tielemans.
Give it to James Justin.
Because he's in your fantasy team. That's ridiculous. Tielemans is going to have the chance. 4 minutes of added time to be played. And the question is, will he, Chris? Will Tielemans stick it away for Leicester. What a night it's been for them at Ellen Road. Under pressure earlier in the second half, leading 3-1, the whistle blows, Tielemans pauses and drives it into the net, sends Meslier the wrong way. Leicester are going second in the Premier League table with a comprehensive win at Ellen Road. It's Leeds 1, Leicester 4.
Yep, Willie Yuri whips it into the top corner, sends Meslier the wrong way. It's a brilliant penalty, isn't it? Emphatic as you like. And they have been so impressive. We got there in the end with the penalty award. It was a foul, we knew that, and a close one it was. Was he inside the box, outside the box? I think the correct decision. We'd all agree with that. And Brendan Rodgers' team have been devastating. Another statement made. Watch out for us. Maddison off the bench, outstanding. They've got some brilliant attacking players, Leicester. Makeshift backline have held firm, been very good tonight. Strong squad.
Yeah, and so many to come back from injuries as well. 5 wins in 7 games this is going to be at the start of the season. The only 2 defeats at home to West Ham and at home to Aston Villa.
And they like sides who come onto them. That's sort of the way it's panned out this season. The teams who have made it difficult for them, the likes of West Ham, who sat really deep and countered, and Aston Villa as well. Very even game.
On air till 10:30 on 5 Live this evening. Jermaine Beckford joining us. Chris Sutton will be here. I think Rory Smith is returning as well.
Oh, is he?
I think so, Chris, but no Micah. And we'll be talking about a big Leicester win and hopefully getting some post-match reaction. Leeds 1, Leicester 4 in added time. Alioski on the ball for Leeds, and now plays it to the centre-back Koch with the outside of his right foot, looking for the run of Ayling. Finds Ayling, steps inside the challenge of Fuchs, plays it to Roberts. Roberts turns and drives the ball, falls to Harrison, miscues a volley, falls to Bamford, spoons it over the bar. He was offside. It wouldn't have counted. Goal kick for Leicester.
That finish actually pretty much summed up Patrick Bamford's night. He was offside anyway, but from 4 yards skied it over the bar. It's not been his night, it's not been Leeds United's night. They've given it a go though, as they always do. Front foot football. They've been outfought, outsmarted. You spoke about before the game the battle of the 2 coaches.
Yeah. Header away here by Liam Cooper for Leeds. Brendan Rodgers has certainly got the better of it tonight. Leicester getting their noses in front, 2-0 in front. Were under pressure early in the second half, looking for a 5th now though. And Fuchs, the centre-back, is wide on the left wing down by the corner flag, not only keeping possession but getting the ball to 19-year-old Luke Thomas, making a first Premier League appearance of the season and playing his part in this impressive away win. Fuchs chipping a little ball back to Maddison. Maddison with those dancing toes down the left-hand touchline, trying to wriggle his way past defenders. Koch clears on the turn, down the right for Leeds, flicked on by Roberts. Tielemans, 2 goals for him this evening, 1 from the penalty spot. All over at Ellen Road, another mightily impressive win for Brendan Rodgers and Leicester City, up to second in the Premier League table. 2-0 ahead early in the first half. Stuart Dallas got one back for Leeds, who had a real spell of pressure for sort of 15-20 minutes in the second half. Then an absolutely classic Leicester goal on the counter, finished by who else but Jamie Vardy and Yuri Tielemans, sticking away a late penalty, Chris, to make that a really impressive win.
Yes, it was. It was a Jamie Vardy masterclass, wasn't it? Led the line superbly. And Leicester, they sat deep, they countered. Maddison came on and made a huge difference in the second half when Leeds were putting Leicester under pressure. The third goal was absolutely devastating. One end to the other, slick move, finished off by Jamie Vardy, and then it was too far, too much for Leeds. But Leicester, hugely impressive, up to second. Leeds United will be all right this season. Ultimately, I think it's about staying in the Premier League. They are too good to go down. Good game though, thoroughly enjoyed it, but Leicester get the 3 points.
7 games played for Leicester in the Premier League, 5 wins. Can they? Will they? Leeds 1, Leicester 4.